Okay, I'm going to make a start. So thank you for joining me. My name is Mr. Courtine. I'm the lead teacher of physics here at Prendergast. I've been teaching A-level physics for 9 years now. This is my 4th year here at Prendergast. So I'd like to think I'm an experienced and fairly safe pair of hands. I'm one of 2 teachers for A-level physics here, myself and a lady called Miss Cunnane, who teaches at year 12 as well, but I'm, as I said, the lead teacher. I'm going to, in a moment, share with you a brief PowerPoint presentation covering some salient aspects of the course, and then hopefully give us a few minutes to field any questions that any of you may have. So please bear with me for a second while I upload my PowerPoint. Okay, so hopefully you can see my slides. As far as I'm aware, you can. So firstly, why should you study A-level physics? Well, firstly, obviously you're interested in it, otherwise you wouldn't be here. And that's a good thing because I think it's an inherently beautiful and interesting subject. It's possibly the only subject where you will be able to see how all of the math skills and theory that you've learned so far at GCSE and will continue to learn at A-level actually applies to the real world around you. So number one, it's very interesting. Aside from that, we're thinking about next steps. So A-levels are about further education, higher study at university level. So if you are thinking right now of seeing yourself in a couple of years doing any kind of engineering, mechanical, civil, aeronautical, etc., then obviously physics is probably a required choice. Any kind of computing, computer science, programming, all involves the same kind of thinking, maths and logic. The sciences themselves, not just physics, but obviously physics itself and its offshoots. And then outside of the realm of, say, maths and science, but not completely, anything to do with business, economics, financial markets are all governed obviously by mathematical equations essentially. So again, studying physics A-level is a good choice if that's where you are thinking about seeing yourself going in a few years' time. Overall, over the course, you will be developing very strong, hopefully, very strong problem-solving skills and having to apply logical thinking skills in a very mathematical context. So it's a challenging course, but a very useful and rewarding one. What will you study? So in year 12, you will see lots of topics that you've seen at GCSE, except we will study them in far greater detail and a higher level overall of rigor. So we look at everything in a lot more math standpoint. So we have topics on particle and quantum physics. We have a large section on waves, a very large section on mechanics in year 12. Hopefully you recognize a lot of these things from GCSE study. Another large section on electricity. Circular motion, you may or may not have as part of your course at GCSE level. And then we move into year 13, where we study simple harmonic motion, which will be new, thermal physics and something called ideal gases, a large section on fields, gravitational, electrostatic, and so on. And again, another large section on nuclear physics. So these are, broadly speaking, the topics of the 2-year course. Intertwined throughout the whole 2 years is general skills on data analysis and error analysis, how we do experiments and propagate our errors and come up with values, essentially. The actual structure of the course is all exam based. So we study the AQA syllabus. That's our exam board. At the end of year 13, you have 3 synoptic papers. So obviously the 3 papers cover the whole 2 years worth of content. Each paper is 2 hours long. There is no coursework. However, throughout the 2 years, there are 12 practical investigations that we must do as part of the course. And they form, as well as part of the course, they form something called the practical endorsement. This does not affect your grade, it's just pass or fail. However, any university that wishes you to have A-level physics, they would wish you to be passing this aspect of the course. But so long as you turn up and take part, that won't be an issue. Finally, entry requirements for study here at Prendergast. We want a 6 in science and in English. That's the minimum. Obviously, higher would be preferred. you must also be studying Maths A-level here at Prendergast. So you need to meet the Maths entry requirements, which I believe is also a 6 in Maths. Finally, it is a very challenging course. It's very mathematical. A lot of work is required on the behalf of the students independently if you are to be successful to achieve the highest of grades. So I know that was quick, but that's the end of my PowerPoint. I'm now going to hopefully reappear on your screen and then field any questions. So if you have any questions, hopefully we do, please could you put them into the Q&A section and I will try and answer them for you. So there we go. Right. So I believe I have reappeared miraculously before you. So yeah, if you have any questions that I haven't answered already, if you could please post them in the Q&A and I will field your questions. While we wait for anyone to either figure out how to pose a question or have any questions, I will continue to talk, give some general information that people commonly do ask me. So first of all, at the moment, class sizes at Prendergast is roughly 15 students. We have 15 in year 13 and 18 in year 12. I have a question. What percentage of mechanics is involved? The mechanics topic is, I would say, on for a quarter of year 12, but then of the entire course, obviously considerably less, a quarter of half. But all of the course, every topic is underpinned. It's all equations, basically. It's a lot of mathematical thinking. The actual maths is fairly straightforward algebra. However, it's all logic. It's all based in equations. For dentistry study, I do not believe physics would be a requirement. I would suggest that you have a look at some dentistry courses and see what they say as the required subjects for study. As a guess, I would think that they would wish to see chemistry as a definite, and then other similar subjects of rigor. So physics could be in there, but I would have thought biology is potentially a better fit. And as I said, to study physics here, you must also study math. So that's 2 choices effectively. What physics trips? So in the past, well, a few years ago, we haven't done this now, we have run to the LHC. Last year, we were trying to go and see a nuclear reactor, a nuclear power station. At the moment, with the current COVID situation, we don't have anything planned, I'm afraid. So that's the answer to 2 trip questions. Unknown at the moment. I would love to run some trips. Normally we try and do at least one thing in each year. However, hopefully, as you understand at the moment, that's proving to be quite difficult. Just running school as normal is proving to be quite difficult. So hopefully this clears up soon. Again, any other questions, please post them. We still have a few minutes. While I wait for any others to come through, as I was saying, we have roughly 15 students per class, obviously depending on intake each year. I mentioned at the beginning, but you may not have been there to hear, there are 2 A-level physics teachers currently, myself as the lead, and a lady, Miss Cunnane, who teaches some of year 12 with me. Last year, the students leaving year 13, we had, I'd say, about a third of our students go on to study a physics-related subject at university, at one of the top universities, so Russell Group. We had someone doing engineering at Cambridge. We have someone doing mechanical engineering at Imperial. We have 3 students studying physics or iterations of, so physics at Manchester, physics at Bristol, and medical physics at UCL. And then a whole host of some other people doing computer science and so on at places that I can't remember off the top of my head. So we do have students over the years who are gaining the top grades. Do we do the Physics Olympiad? I have not had entries in the last couple of years, but that doesn't mean it's not something that we could run, but currently, no. How many physics teachers? I said currently there are 2. What do you need in maths to A-level physics? So as far as I'm aware, the entry requirements for maths A-level is also a 6. So it's a 6 in maths, a 6 in science, and a 6 in English to get in to do this. Is further maths required for aerospace? So aerospace engineering and any kind of engineering, I would expect maths is a requirement, and then probably they'd like to see good grades in similar subjects, so like physics. The actual question is about further math study. It could be stipulated, I doubt it, but it would certainly be something that would be, well, if you're looking at doing engineering, then a very good choice would be maths, further maths, and physics. And that would certainly be an excellent choice of A-levels for any kind of engineering, to be honest. I still have about a minute left before I have to end this session. So if anyone has any other questions, please pop them into the Q&A. Okay, right. I need to now set up my next session, and you obviously need to be able to get into whichever other sessions you are hoping to join. Thank you very much for joining me on this session. I hope it was of some use to you, despite it being in somewhat strange circumstances. So thank you for listening. I hope I was of use. I'm now going to end the call. So thank you and goodbye.